Who's a good boy?
Have you ever wanted to see a grown man eat out of a dog bowl? If so, this video will scratch that itch better than belly rubs for a flea-infested Fido. Hey there, Chew Crew. It's a dog-eat-dog world, and I'm diving into the Top Dog Challenge at Murdog's Diner in Caro, Michigan. The challenge consists of a huge sandwich, starting with about 1.5 pounds of beef. All your usual healthy vegetables, lettuce, tomato, pickle, onion, a couple different types of cheeses, and then it's got a couple different sauces, mayo, ketchup, mustard. All that is sandwiched between an entire loaf of Italian bread. Then top it all off with a couple pickle spears for good measure. And of course, the star of this challenge is the triple order of straight cut French fries served in a dog bowl. They give you a full hour to down all this food, about 4.5 pounds total. If I can do it, I get a sweet t-shirt, my picture on the wall of fame, but I do still have to pay for the meal, which is about $30. As you may have noticed by now, I'm a little bit of a competitive person, and this challenge wouldn't be complete without not only trying to beat the challenge within the specified time limit, but to get the best time out of any challenge completer. So, after doing a little bit of research, I found that the current record holder is none other than Mr. Nathan Klein. He completed the challenge in 27 minutes, 13 seconds. Now, I'm not one to be bitter, but several weeks earlier, when I was doing my Midwest Spring Break Food Challenge tour, I stopped in Davenport, Iowa to take on a giant nacho challenge. If you want to see the full challenge video, wait until the very end of this one, and I'll have a link to that one. But I'm a little bit salty because I realized at the very end of the challenge that I had just missed beating the record time that Nathan had set. So I'm going to put his time up on the screen and do my doggone best to beat it. I was a bit concerned about the bread. Usually when you eat an entire loaf of bread, your stomach kind of doesn't like that. I ran into this issue in spades when I took on Tony's of Shield's giant grinder deli sandwich challenge. Keep an eye out for a link to that video at the end of this one. I figured I really need to start attacking this sandwich from the start, especially trying to get down as much of the bread as possible. Usually I try to save all the carbs for last, but knowing I had a triple order of fries plus an entire loaf of bread, I really thought it made the most sense to save the fries for last, try to get as much of the bread down as possible, especially with all that nice warm burger with the melty cheese on it. But of course that strategy pretty much went out the window immediately after I sampled a few of those fries and realized how delicious they were. As far as straight cut fries go, these were easily some of the better fries I think I've ever had. Perfectly cooked. The outside was nice and crispy, had a really nice crunch to them, but the insides had that nice, soft, fluffy texture to them, which paired so well. When I'd originally heard about this challenge and stumbled upon Murdog's, I thought it was going to be a dog-themed restaurant, considering the name Murdog, the Top Dog Challenge, those fries being served in a dog food bowl. But when I got there, I realized that definitely screamed that classic diner feel. Had the cool red-topped seats at the bar, you had the checkerboard flooring. The walls were just plastered with pictures of classic cars, some memorabilia. They had some shelving with some really cool stuff from the 50s on it. So not the dog-style restaurant I was expecting it to be, which is fine because I'm actually more of a cat person, believe it or not. I grew up with dogs, but after I met my now wife, she wanted cats and I wanted a dog, so we compromised and we ended up getting 2 cats. I never thought I'd enjoy having cats, but 12 years later, I've really enjoyed having them around. It's been very convenient with them being lower maintenance pets. We can leave for a long weekend and they're perfectly fine. They're litter trained so you don't have to take them outside. They're pretty quiet and they clean themselves. That being said, cats can't hold a candle to the loyalty and unconditional love that dogs provide. So that begs the question. Are you a dog person or a cat person? We're definitely planning on getting a dog when the kids get a little bit older. So also let us know if you are a dog person, which breed of dog you would recommend. Back to the challenge. At this point, I'm about halfway through the sandwich and my jaw's starting to get tired. This sandwich was probably a good 4 inches tall, and I was trying to smash it down as much as I could just to try to get the air out of that loaf of bread, because I knew it was just going to take up a lot of space once it hit my stomach. But the bigger concern I was having was just the pure flavor fatigue. I absolutely love bread. Carbs definitely are my love language, no doubt about it. But after eating that much bread, you can see it in my face, and I'm totally just over the texture of the bread. So at this point, I was starting to think, well, let me just have a few of the fries, give my taste buds a little bit of a change up, and see if that helps. At the very end of this video, I snuck in a few seconds of footage of next week's challenge, and for this one, my taste buds didn't even have a chance to tell what they were eating. It wasn't just a breakfast challenge, and it wasn't just a lunch challenge. It was war. A giant sandwich, not one, not two, but 3 different fried sides, all begging to be devoured. One of the biggest names in competitive eating took this one down, but I'm going full bore to take the crown. Think I can do it? Make sure to subscribe and turn on your notifications so that next Friday you'll see if I have what it takes. Fetching a few handfuls of fries from my dog bowl definitely helped break up the flavor fatigue I was feeling from the sandwich. But after several more bites, I was totally over this sandwich. It was delicious. It was cooked perfectly. It was just after about 2.5 pounds of sandwich, that was kind of my limit for the point. So at that point, I was thinking, you know what, let me just throw a few more handfuls of fries in my mouth, see if that reinvigorates the taste buds to finish this sandwich. But as you can see, that was not the case. You'd think after about 10 minutes, the fries would have cooled down to the point where they were starting to get gross. But I don't know if it was because it was just something different than the sandwich or that the fries were really cooked that well. They were seasoned perfectly. And like I said earlier, they were cooked exactly how I would like to eat French fries, even though I had to eat 3 servings worth. It may have been that I was eating them out of the dog bowl. That was probably the deciding factor where I was like, wow, this is an amazing experience. I'm loving the taste of these French fries so much that I'm going to draw a smiley face and ketchup on my plate to entertain my children, who were being exceptionally well behaved as they were digging into their pizza. More on that later, but the pizza was a surprise. With another squirt or 2 of ketchup, I was able to down the last few bites of those fries, showing off that clean bowl. Despite this video being sped up faster than a Great Dane, I was really hurting at this point. That sandwich was filling up pretty much every nook and cranny in my stomach, sitting on a giant bowl of fries. But using the last couple pieces of bread, I scooped up the remaining ketchup and toppings, claiming victory on the challenge, not just under the 60-minute mark, but setting a new house record of 15 minutes 35 seconds. For winning the Top Dog Challenge, I get to go up on their Wall of Fame. And while I mentioned that they throw in an awesome t-shirt for the winners, they were actually out of t-shirts, but they were super kind and they were able to comp my meal, which was extremely thoughtful of them. So definitely appreciate that. I know you're begging to know, what about this pizza? My family ordered a big BLT pizza, and it was probably one of the top 2 or 3 best pizzas I've ever had, and I've probably eaten, hundreds of different pizzas over my life. This was absolutely spectacular. The crust might have been my favorite part. I ended up eating the better part of a slice after I was done, despite my stomach screaming for no more. So if you're ever in the area, definitely stop by Murdog's. If you don't want to attempt the challenge, definitely get the pizza. It was astounding. To those loyal few that have made it this far, hope you loved what you saw. If you did, let me know. If you missed the mark, let us know as well. Until next time, stay hungry. Boom, the Falcon has landed.
Good luck.
What do you get when a breakfast and a lunch food challenge have a baby? A delectable opportunity for me to beat a record set by one of YouTube's greatest competitive eaters. Which one? Guess you'll just have to tune in next week to find out. Who's good?